Kyle Henderson, Bama Football on YouTube. Run the thumbs up on all these videos. Alabama 29, South Carolina 22. Here's Coach Kalen DeBoer at the podium postgame.
The story of the game is resiliency. Doesn't matter how you win. It ain't going to be pretty all the time, especially when you go on the road. SEC game, Coach Beamer, a well-coached team. We knew they were going to fight. Tough environment here, and just proud of the way the guys hung in there for 4 quarters. And so, again, it wasn't pretty. A lot of stuff that, were missed opportunities or breaks that didn't go our way. The ball, we always got to make sure we're doing a good job with the punt that bounced off of us and gave them good field position. But defense did a nice job holding them to field goals early. And had their backs to the wall with a few different possessions with a shorter field, but came through in the end and got that turnover, and guys finding a way to get in the end zone. So just, again, I don't know if it's something that we could have done maybe right at the beginning of the season as far as finding a way to win this thing, but our guys got fight, and they certainly believe that sooner or later they're going to make a play, either themselves or the other side of the ball. And so, again, a great win for us. Much needed bye. It's been an intense 5 weeks, but I think it even goes back before that. When we had our backs to the wall, even during the bye week and Wisconsin, and even just the mindset that we had to continue to have going into Monroe. So proud of the guys, and we'll take the momentum, and we'll have some great practices. I know that, and looking forward to the next one in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's not always going to be perfect, okay? And any win in the SEC is a quality win in my book. I mean, it just is. I've said this a lot of times. It's any given Saturday. I think when Coach Kalen DeBoer is right here at the podium, he brings us some excellent points. The defense, and I'm starting to see this identity, and we've seen it through now 8 games, right? It's like the bend but don't break. You look at the 2 long drives that South Carolina had kind of in that opening, right? One was a 15-play, another one was a 14-play, get all the way, and they only get 3 points on each of those possessions. That's 6 points instead of, could have been 14. So, and then at the end of the game, you need a big play from your defense. How about 2 captains, Deontay Lawson and Tim Keenan, right? One's from LA, one's from Birmingham, and they make huge play together. Keenan, it sounded like he didn't even, or it looked like he didn't even know the football was under him. Do you see that? Hell of a play. And then the creativity of Grubb there at the back end as Jeremy Renard gets in the end zone. Gritty win. We continue with Coach Kalen DeBoer.
Thanks, Coach. To start, we got 2 questions right in front. Charlie first, and Nick.
Coach, just can you walk us through that 2-point conversions to tie the game? Just what was called there and what you see?
If you couldn't hear the reporter, he's asking about the 2-point conversion there at the end.
I tell you what it's called. I mean, it's just one of those plays we practice all the time. We've had it in for, again, it's one of those we've had in for years. We've run it a time or 2 here and there over the last 5-6 years, and so. Just guys practice it, and you practice it every Thursday, every Friday. You're talking through it for those moments, and you just offset quarterback, running back, end up handing it to Ty, getting it in his hands, and then really there's run pass option with different guys that you can find, but guys did a great job executing a critical moment.
And he's talking about the 2-point conversion, which made it 22-22, right? You have Daniel Hill, who is at Wildcat, hands it off to Ty. Ty throws it. Beautiful play design. And that's kind of one of the things about Ryan Grubb that he's brought is some offensive creativity and those type of moments. He's like, what else is in his bag of tricks? Now, I will say this, and I want some feedback inside the comment box, and I was very open with this during my watch-along, but I think it's time to put the whole crispy package away. I don't want Caden Proctor to get hurt. I mean, more and more you're going to see teams go low on him. I think it was great for what it was early on. You threw him a pass. You had him run a Wildcat, but I think maybe the one more time, like in the national championship, should they get there, whatever, but I think he's too big of a risk. I mean, you want to play the rest of the season without Caden Proctor? Right? I mean, you don't have a perfect offensive line. I don't think risking Caden Proctor is worth it on a short yardage play.
Go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, obviously this is the type of game unranked on the road that you guys have struggled at times. You guys haven't found ways to win. What do you think was the difference in this game and finding those ways to win late?
The reporter is asking, how are you able to find a way to win on the road? Because as you know, Kalen DeBoer, Alabama football, they've struggled on the road against unranked teams.
I just think the investment of time that we put in talking about the big plays and a mindset that you just got to keep swinging. You got to line up defensively and play another play. You got to forget about the last one they scored on the possession before, and I mean, it was a shorter field, but going back out there and the next play is a whole different set of circumstances. And again, the critical moments and practicing the 2-minute drills and practicing, the third down plays and the fourth down ones, they aren't always going to work, but you play with confidence. When you play with confidence, you're giving yourself a chance.
Yeah, I think that's just it. I mean, if you watch the watch-along, I never thought that this team was going to lose. Even when South Carolina took the lead, I knew that this team was one drive away from really getting it going. And when you have a quarterback, Ty Simpson, by the way, on the season, 20 touchdowns, 1 interception, it was just going to take one drive for Alabama to put things together. And you want to talk like Heisman-type moments. I know it wasn't his best performance, 53% or whatever it was going into the game. He's 70% on the season. But, man, he led a team down a scoring drive that was absolutely impressive. It was 14 plays, 79 yards, covered 7 minutes and 58 seconds, and he goes down and leads his team at that particular time. And that's the type of fight that you need. You need to be able to fight in every single game in the SEC is an amazing victory, okay? It's like the NFL, right? If you follow the NFL, you know that one game doesn't define your season, and you know that anybody can beat you. You have 3 SEC games remaining. They're all going to be tough. The open week comes at a perfect time, but being able to win, I think, shows growth in this team. I don't know if this team doesn't win a game like this last year. And now, you continue to fight through some adversity. Winning a game like this where a lot of things didn't go your way, very impressive.
Let's go on the left here, Colin.
Hey, Kalen. Heading into that final drive down game, what do you see in terms of the poise? I guess, I don't know, the calmness that Ty was able to execute on that play.
The reporter's asking about that drive that I was just talking about, right, where Ty kind of leads them down in that 14-play, 79-yard drive. Here's Coach Kalen DeBoer talking about that key moment in the game.
Yeah, that was impressive. I think all around, from the guys and the coaches, the coaching staff, just really being patient. And taking it one play at a time, knowing that, when you got to get the 2-point conversion, but just trusting and believing that our guys will execute. And they did, just stacked plays, and everyone did their job. We didn't have any penalties that hurt us. We didn't have those negative plays that hurt us. And so, again, just everyone locking in, doing your job, and trusting your buddies.
Yeah, it was a great play, a great drive, rather, going down the field and kind of locking in, coming up with some key third down conversions. I have a couple game balls that I like to provide before I exit out. One is to Justin Jefferson, number 10. Could I get a thumbs up for him inside the comm box? I thought he played fantastic. In fact, on that pick 6 that Deshaun Jones had in the beginning, it was Justin Jefferson kind of helped him stay on balance to finish it out. I thought he had one of the hardest hits that I've seen in the last couple years. He's not the biggest inside linebacker, but he plays all over the field, so I'd like to give him a game ball. Actually, on the special teams, you know who I'm going to give a game ball to? Blake Dowd. He had a punt that was 60. He had a punt that was 51. I think he had 5 punts that were over 50 yards. The guy had an amazing game. I don't know if you saw this, but having a punter that can flip the field is super, super impressive, so I thought he did a great job. Blake Dowd, you get a game ball. And then on the offensive side, you kind of look to the players, and I was getting feedback from a lot of different people. I give Ty a game ball. It wasn't his best performance, and I do question, what's going on kind of with the deep ball. I will say, is that an area that he needs to work on? I will say this. The receivers were getting held like I'd never seen before. South Carolina was holding all game long. But that drive tells me a lot about the fight in Ty Simpson. I knew that existed, and I'm not surprised to see him lead his team down in a game-changing moment to come up with a touchdown in a crucial situation. Alabama has an amazing quarterback. Ty Simpson, 20 touchdowns, 1 interception, gritty win for the Crimson Tide. They go into this open week, which is much needed, and then you turn around and you get ready for LSU, Oklahoma, Eastern Illinois, and Auburn. Critical games as we go down the stretch. The SEC is an absolute gauntlet, and when you look to the SEC, you have Vanderbilt, who's a one-loss team. You got Ole Miss, who's a one-loss team. You got Georgia, who's a one-loss team. You have Texas A&M right now battling it out with LSU. So the SEC is NFL light, and even Saturday. I appreciate you guys kicking it here with me. Look, Coach Kalen DeBoer is already in bed. I'm about to go to bed too. So run the thumbs up on all these videos. I appreciate you guys being here. Hell of a win for the Alabama Crimson Tide.